E-Butter go crazy. YouTube, what's good, guys? It's your boy T, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on draft these 10 deep sleepers, wide receivers before your league makes find out about them. So listen, guys, I know a lot of people are not drafting right now for a redraft, but in Dynasty, you go ahead and trade for these guys. Give up a 6th-round pick, a 7th-round pick, pick them up off the waiver wire, and stash them. I'm a big-time stasher when it comes to fantasy football if you got the bench spots. So, guys, in redraft, make sure that you write these guys down or have them in your head or save this video to your favorites. That way, when you get ready to do your redraft closer to the season, you can be on these guys. But they might hit the algorithm. I can't guarantee you the other guys won't be on these guys. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button, show support to the channel. This is cutting-edge content. And, guys, make sure you sign up for my OnlyFans if you need help winning fantasy football championships. That's what I do. So my OnlyFans is there where I do consultations. You get half off. All you got to do is go to the OnlyFans. Everything is there that you need. It's in the description box. So let me see, guys. Let me see. Okay. So let's start. And, guys, if you can't hear me, just hit me up in the chat. Let me know. Yes, sir, Lindale. You know it. You know it, bro. You know it. So let's start, guys, with my number one wide receiver. My number one wide receiver that's a deep sleeper that you need to be targeting is Calvin Austin from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, guys, Calvin Austin. Listen, let me tell you a little bit about Calvin Austin before I get into some of his attributes. Watching football 2 years ago when Sauce Gardner was in college, I remember watching the game between Memphis and Cincinnati. And Sauce Gardner had never gave up a touchdown, locking everybody down. I'm talking about it didn't matter who you was. You could be from the SEC. It didn't matter. And he played Calvin Austin, and Calvin Austin was eating him. I'm talking about he was struggling. And then, so I saw that game. I'm like, okay, I like Calvin Austin. And then I go and do some research on Sauce Gardner, who's the toughest guy that he went against. And Sauce Gardner said it was Calvin Austin. So, guys, if Calvin Austin wouldn't got hurt last year, I'm pretty sure that he would have beat Deontay Johnson out of his position. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have got, like Deontay wouldn't have got any type of targets, but Calvin Austin was better than he was. Like, that's why they drafted Calvin Austin to replace Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a good wide receiver, but he's not a bell cow wide receiver. When I say bell cow, he's not a guy that's going to be at your franchise for 10 years. So, guys, if you watch Calvin Austin versus Sauce Gardner, you can see how guys, this is one of the fastest guys in the NFL. This guy ran like a 4.2, 4.3, 40. He's fast. He runs really good routes. He's just small. So in this type of game, I'm not worried about a small wide receiver when you really can't hit guys under the chin, right? You can't, when they come across the middle, you can't just boom them because they're small. So now, guys, small wide receivers that are fast are really elite. That's why you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and some of these other smaller wide receivers because they're not going to really get hit like they used to back in the 90s. So, guys, I love Calvin Austin, guys. He's going to be beating out Deontay Johnson, if you ask me. By the time week 10, week 9 come around in your fantasy football season, Calvin Austin is probably going to be the number 2 wide receiver on this team because you got to earn targets. This is the NFL. They're not going to target you just because you got a little bit of a name. If a guy comes in and he starts booming, they're going to give him the ball. Look at what happened with James Robinson and Leonard Fournette. They cut Leonard Fournette a couple years ago because James Robinson was playing out of his mind at camp. So I'm going with talent. That's why I don't worry about no ADP. I watch talent with my eyes, and I draft that guy. So, guys, I'm going with Calvin Austin. That's my first deep sleeper. Pick this guy up. I think he's going to be booming. This is a great opportunity for him this season. Okay, so moving on to my number 2 guy. My number 2 guy is Tyquan Thornton. Yes, guys, Tyquan Thornton from the New England Patriots. And the reason why I'm on Tyquan Thornton, Matt Jones needs a fast receiver. That's why they drafted him. You just can't win. This is not Tom Brady. You just can't win with Julian Edelman and a Gronk type, right? And I'm not saying there ain't no Gronk on this team, but even when Gronk was on this team, Matt Jones needs speed. That's what he played with Alabama. He played with Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, all those phenom, Jameson Williams, all those phenom wide receivers. He needed speed, and he was great with speed wide receivers. Same thing with Tua. He needs speed wide receivers. He's not just throwing guys great route runners open. So I'm not saying these speed wide receivers can't run great routes, but they just a different type of breed, and they give you a different type of separation. So Tyquan Thornton, when he's running routes, he's going to be separating on the deep ball. He's going to be pushing these safeties back. Last year, guys, what hurt Matt Jones was the guys was like they was coming up into the box, and Matt Jones was getting squeezed, and he couldn't throw underneath. And so they was picking a lot of his balls. So he needed somebody he could throw the ball deep down the field to. And Devontae Parker no longer has that type of speed. None of these guys did. So Tyquan Thornton was too young to really learn how to run routes. But this year, I think it's going to be a breakout season for Tyquan Thornton. He's going to be backing guys up. So, guys, remember to hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. This is cutting-edge content. So, Tyquan Thornton, guys, you got to be able to take that risk this year. You can't worry about where his ADP at because it's lovely. It's not like up in the first 5 or 6, 7 rounds. You can pick this guy in a redraft league. He probably might not even get drafted. I said what I said in the redraft league, but in Dynasty, he definitely is going to get drafted. So, guys, make sure, thank you. You know it's CHB. So, guys, make sure that you pick up Tyquan Thornton because of him pushing this defense back. That's why they brought in Bill O'Brien to help be able to get this ball out deep so the defense can back up. And then we can hit you with the double tight end with Hunter Henry, with Ramondre Stevenson, right? Not Jacoby Myers, but the new guy that they put in, the new slot receiver that they got. But Juju Smith-Schuster. So, guys, that's why I love Tyquan Thornton, and I love big play wide receivers. Moving on to my number 3 deep sleeper wide receiver that you need to be targeting before your league mates do is Kyle Phillips. I said what I said, Kyle Phillips. And the reason why you should be on Kyle Phillips, guys, is because they don't have a slot wide receiver that's going to be going underneath. Treylon Burks is a deep play type wide receiver, a post type wide receiver. If you look at Matt Harmon's reception perception, whatever it is, He ran a lot of deep routes, and he was really good at that. Only 2 routes. But they need some guys to do other things like keep the defense honest. A guy that can run a slant. A guy can run a comeback. And that's what Kyle Phillips can do. Now, last year, he was killing in camp, but he got injured. And then they kept going, and then the team struggled. They didn't have any wide receivers, especially after Robert Woods went down. So I love Kyle Phillips this year, guys. He's a Junior Edelman 2.0. It's that simple. Just watch his tape. Go type in Kyle Phillips on YouTube and watch how he run routes. And you will see what I'm talking about. He's going to command targets, especially if Ryan Tannehill is the starter. And he probably will be the starter from the beginning of the season. But even if Will Levis is the starter or Malik Willis, it doesn't matter to me. Kyle Phillips is the guy that's going to command targets. So I love Kyle Phillips, guys. He's the only underneath wide receiver with that type of separation that's on that team. So I'm not worried about no targets. All right, guys, moving on to my number 4 guy. My number 4. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, guys. This is cutting edge content. All right, so my number 4 guy, guys, is Alec Pierce. Yes, guys, Alec Pierce from the Indianapolis Colts. And the reason why, guys, I'm on Alec Pierce, guys, is because I think Anthony Richardson is going to be the starting quarterback on this team. No longer do you see quarterbacks groomed. Now, listen, I like to groom quarterbacks. That's what Green Bay like to do. I'm the same type of way. I like to groom my quarterback and let him walk in like an Aaron Rodgers, booming. Kurt Warner, booming. Not, he struggled. Okay, now he's good. Very few quarterbacks come out like Justin Herbert. But it doesn't matter. AR, you know what he can do good, even though he might not be a great pocket quarterback right now, just like everybody can have to grow into that role 90% of the time, like Jalen Hurts had to. That deep ball. AR got that deep ball now. I ain't playing with you now. That AR got a deep ball. And that deep ball, guys, is going to be going to Alec Pierce. Now, Michael Pittman is a good wide receiver. He's a jump ball contested catch guy. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Michael Pittman. I know Matt Ryan wasn't giving him good, available, catchable targets. But that deep ball, Alec Pierce is second in that. That's why they drafted Alec Pierce so early in that draft over a lot of wide receivers that a lot of people thought was better than Alec Pierce. But Alec Pierce at Cincinnati and with Ritter was killing with that deep ball. So I think when you come up on AR to stop Jonathan Taylor and AR from running, deep ball one-on-one, Alec Pierce, boom, in the basket, touchdown. That's simple. So, guys, that's why I love Alec Pierce this year. I'm fading Michael Pittman, and I'm drafting a lot of Alec Pierce because I'm out for the deep ball and because of his ADP value. I'm not going to have to go and get him in front of other wide receivers that might be better than him. Alec Pierce, where he's going with ADP outside of the top 7-8 rounds, it's easy money. Easy money, especially in best ball. I love them in best ball. So, guys, let me see anything else about Alec. Yeah, so Anthony Richardson deep ball is the reason why that I'm on Alec Pierce, and I know that he's going to be getting a lot of really good deep ball targets. All right, guys, moving on to my number 5 guy. My number 5 deep sleeper wide receiver, and this guy is Nico Collins. Yes, guys, Nico Collins from the Houston Texans, guys. Yes. So Nico Collins, guys, at Michigan was a deep ball guy. He didn't run across the middle a lot. He just came in. They play action with Jim Harbaugh, play action, and they would take a shot, 1 or 2 of them a game. And you know who it would be? It would be the Nico. That's why he got drafted. Nico never had 1,000 yards in a season. But because of his jump ball ability, they drafted him because he's 6'4", you know what I'm saying? And he can jump, and he got really good hands. Now, with Davis Mills, couldn't get him the ball. But I think with Stroud, throwing to those Ohio State wide receivers, knowing how to put it out there for Marvin Harrison Jr., Nico gonna eat. A lot of people, who's gonna be the number 1? It's Mechie. It's some of these other young rookies. Yeah, those guys are gonna be fine, but who they gonna push the ball down to? John Mechie ain't dumping over nobody, not over no Sauce Gardner, right? So who gonna be pushing some of these big number 1 corners back? It's gonna be Nico. Now, Nico's not going to be getting 15, 20 targets a game. And I'm being funny, but they're not even 7 or 8, but they're 5. It don't take number 1. See, a lot of people, guys, if you follow the numbers, you're going to miss out on the breakouts. If you go and look at the numbers and the analytics, you're going to miss on the breakout. You know why? Because guys boom outside of 15 targets a game. Now, listen, if you can get your team with 5, 15 target guys, you're probably going to win the championship. But you can't always do that. You might get 2 guys. You might get a Cooper Kupp and a Tyreek Hill You know what I'm saying? Then what other wide receivers gonna get 12 targets a game? So you got to find guys that you can put in the flex, that you can win with the jump ball. That can win with the jump ball. So I love Nico Collins. I think he's gonna have 5 to 6 targets a game and 2 or 3 deep balls from C.J. Stroud just to back the defense up. And I think he's gonna complete a lot of these. And I think he can have 1,000 yards receiving, maybe 7 to 8 touchdowns. So I love Nico Collins, guys. Jump ball, very, very physical guy. All right, let's go on to my number 6 guy. And my number 6 guy, guys, is Tim Patrick. Yes, guys, Tim Patrick from the Denver Broncos. And the reason why I'm on Tim Patrick, guys, this guy is an expert, hardworking veteran. Now, listen, I love Marvin Mims. I like Jerry Jeudy. I do not like Courtney Sutton. And I think if it wasn't for Tim Patrick going down last year, I think he would have been a number 1 wide receiver on this team. Now, knee injuries, wide receivers can push through on knee injuries. I don't mess with running backs on knee injuries unless you're Adrian Peterson. That's a phenom. It ain't too many phenoms out there. So I think Tim Patrick can be okay, and he could be a good target and a reliable target for Russell Wilson. Russell, last name Wilson. Russell, last name Wilson. And listen, I'm going to do a video on Russell. He's a breakout sleeper this year. Now, I wasn't on him last year. Listen, guys, I got to be the only guy that said, I'm not touching Russell. Man, you ain't getting Russell. And then during the season, people are like, yeah, they just moved on. I told people not to touch Russell. Not that he sucked, but that team wasn't right for him. So I love Tim Patrick to be a reliable target, and he's going to also teach Marvin Mims how to be a professional wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy going to be able to learn a lot about Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick is like the hardworking man that he had to start off in the mail room, and he worked his way up to a lawyer, right? That's what Tim Patrick is. So I love Tim Patrick. I love his hard work. He's very reliable. He's coming back off a knee injury, but I'm still okay to take him at his ADP. Like I said, he might not even get drafted. These are deep sleepers. All right, guys, let's move on to my number 7 guy. And my number 7 guy, guys, is Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints. Yes, guys, Rashid Shaheed. Now, listen, I got to be fair with myself. I'm not drafting Chris Olave. Ain't that Chris Olave suck? He doesn't. I don't want to challenge anybody on Chris Olave saying that he sucks, because he doesn't. But I don't like him on the offense to say he's going to be the number 1. Then if you told me Michael Thomas had got traded, then yes, I would be on Chris Olave. But Michael Thomas being there, if he plays 15 games, there's no way that Chris Olave can lead this league in receptions or targets or whatever, because you have a lot of mouths to feed. Excuse me, guys. You got Jawan Johnson that's on his way for a breakout as a tight end that had a really great season last season. Then you got Michael Thomas, who was an alpha wide receiver but has been going through injuries. And then you got Rashid Shaheed, who came out last year, was the most explosive guy, or most reliable guy. He was taking punt returns back, kick returns. He was also playing in the snow, and he was also catching a lot of good balls. And I think this guy is actually, I like him more than Chris Olave. I'm not saying he's better, because he might not be better, but in my opinion, I'm drafting Rashid Shaheed because of he's very dynamic. I love hybrid guys. So, again, you can draft Chris Olave. I'm not going to tell nobody not to draft him. I'm not touching him. I'm going to get Rashid Shaheed. I just think this guy is going to be the guy that's going to break out as a young wide receiver that was drafted in the later rounds. So, now listen, this guy is being drafted, but it's late. It's like round 8 after, right, guys? Depending if you super flex or if you single quarterback. Just depending, maybe a couple rounds different. Second take. What's up, bro? Yes, sir. Okay, so let's move on, guys, to my 8th guy. My 8th guy, guys, is Tutu Atwell from the Los Angeles Rams. And the reason why I like Tutu Atwell, all right, I'm going to ask everybody in this chat real quick. Outside of Cooper Kupp, who's the next wide receiver that's going to get targets? I'm waiting. Outside of Cooper Kupp on the Rams, who else is going to get targeted? Listen, I know they got some young rookies named Puka. I'm not saying that guy sucks. He might go out and be the next Garrett Wilson. I don't know. But tell me who it's going to be. But I do know who got some draft capital, Tutu Atwell. And I do know he's fast. And I do know Matthew Stafford got a good arm, especially if he's healthy. So I think it's going to be Cooper Kupp. Bam. Tutu Atwell for a deep ball. Now, look, this is a deep sleeper. I'm not saying Tutu Atwell is a top 12 wide receiver. Can he be a top 32 wide receiver? I don't know. He could have 2 or 3 really big games because everybody trying to triple team Cooper Kupp. And I also like Cam Akers. I think this is a sneaky offense. This is a Sean McVay offense. So there's no competition for Tutu, guys. I love Tutu. Let me see. Second text says, I like him a lot. Yes, sir. And he also says, yeah, good call on that. Can really think of him. Yeah, that's the only guy. And I don't really, that Higbee is a tight end. That's not a wide receiver. Yep. And he says, Akers are going to be nice too. I agree. Akers is going to be nice. I agree with that. All right, guys. So I got two more guys. The next wide receiver that I like, guys, that's a sleeper, is Terrace Marshall from the Carolina Panthers. Yes, guys, Terrace Marshall. Now listen, I know a lot of people love Jonathan Mingo. I have a homeboy that he said he's riding that ship till it go down. Like, he loves Jonathan Mingo. And I seen Jonathan Mingo. He's a big guy. He runs decent routes. But I'm not going to sleep on Terrace Marshall, because this is Terrace Marshall's career. If he don't play good this year, he's going to be a journey wide receiver for the rest of his career. Like, nobody's going to really take him serious. Last year, when Baker and also Sam Darnold targeted him, Terrace Marshall did good when he got some targets. So I think he's a jump ball type of guy. I think because he even started between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. If he wasn't that good, they wouldn't have had him on that field. But he was on that field and he was commanding targets. That's why he had second round draft capital. Because it was like, well, he ain't as fast as these guys and he ain't catching quite as many balls, but he's commanding 7 targets a game with Joe Burrow. So that's why they drafted, so the guy can play. So with Bryce Young being there and a new coaching staff, I think Terrace Marshall can have some big games. Again, I'm not saying he's top 24, but I think he can have some big games. And I do love Bryce Young. Yes, sir. Second take says, I love Bryce Young. I do too, bro. I think Bryce Young going to be really good this year. I think he could be top 14, top 12 quarterback. So Terrace Marshall, guys, pick him up. I think they're going to give him the opportunity before they release Jonathan Mingo as an alpha guy. And I also like Adam Thielen, too. I like this team. This is a sleeper. These are a bunch of sleepers because their ADPs are all low. Only person ADP is kind of high is Miles Sanders. But I like Chuba Hubbard, and I'm going to talk about him later. I like Chuba Hubbard over Miles Sanders. I'm not drafting him over Miles Sanders, but I'm kind of fading Miles Sanders, and I'm getting Chuba Hubbard. Okay, so last but not least, guys, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Okay. Van Jefferson. Okay, that's a good call. Van Jefferson. But bro, I don't think Van Jefferson, he's been there for a while. I don't think he's reliable. I think when Tutu came in there, and remember they beat, who did they beat? They beat a really good team last year with Baker Mayfield. And Van Jefferson didn't do anything. It was Tutu Atwell that had the good game. So you could be right, bro, but that's a great comeback. Van Jefferson might take targets from him, but I don't believe so. I think Tutu Atwell is going to be like the number 3 kind of guy. I ain't saying he's going to be the number 2. Van Jefferson probably going to be number 2 on the depth chart, but I think Tutu Atwell will be the guy that you would rather have on your team in fantasy than to have Van Jefferson and relying on him to be a good end number 2 wide receiver in fantasy. That's just my 2 cents. But that's a great call, Melvin. Great call, bro. And Second Take says, yes, Sanders, I don't like his value. I don't either. I don't like Sanders. I'd rather get Chuba. All right, guys. So last but not least, this last guy is KJ Osborne from the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, guys, KJ Osborne. Now listen, a lot of people love Jordan Addison. And I think Jordan Addison is a good wide receiver, but he's a rookie. And now listen, I'm not saying rookies can't break out because we know wide receiver rookies break out all the time. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all out through history, young wide receivers break out. But KJ Osborne has been there for a while and getting better each year. This could be KJ Osborne year to be not like a prototypical heavy value wide receiver too, but I think he can score more points than Addison, and Addison can just be learned behind Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne. I don't think Addison's going to be getting targets like Adam Thielen. I think they're going to let KJ Osborne be that guy. I think KJ Osborne is a big wide receiver that's fast, and I think he's going to get a lot of deep plays when they are triple teaming Justin Jefferson. That's just my 2 cents. So I don't want people to sleep on KJ. If you can pick him up in your round 8, 9, 10 in a redraft league or a dynasty league, depending on your format, I love KJ Osborne. So let me get to the chat, guys. If you got any questions, hit me up. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to go through everybody's questions. That's how I always do it. Second Take says Van is a deep ball guy. He is. So is Tutu. But I think Tutu is just better than Van, if you ask me. I saw it last year because I was like, okay, come on, Van. And I saw Van Jefferson trying to get off. Then I saw Tutu with Baker, and Tutu was eating. I'm like, okay, Tutu is like a little slot speed guy. Like he might have a 15-year career just being fast and catching a couple of deep balls for teams. So that's why I got Tutu as a deep sleeper. We know what Van Jefferson is, but I can't put Van Jefferson on none of my lists because he's not really getting it done. And like he's not a top number 2 wide receiver. He's not the best deep ball guy. I don't know how to find a role for him. Can he score a touchdown or 2 and be good a couple weeks? He can. I just rather go with Tutu. Let me see. Second Take says, no, Adam Thielen next man up. I agree. I believe it's going to be Adam Thielen and not Jonathan Mingo, but let me see, Terrence Marshall. Yep, so Terrence Marshall, Adam Thielen, and then Mingo. And I think as time go on, Mingo probably could take out Terrence Marshall as the season go on. But early, I think Terrence Marshall's going to give everything he got because especially he's been there. He's been an NFL wide receiver, and he knows the game. It's going to take time for Mingo to learn the game, to me. They're very, very physical in the NFL. So you got to learn how to people putting their hands on you and getting off press. So maybe Mingo might struggle with that, and he might not. That's why Terrence Marshall is a deep sleeper. Second Take says he had a couple boom weeks last year, especially start of the year. Talking about Adam Thielen. Yes, Adam Thielen did. And Van Jefferson had a couple of decent weeks too. So if you're talking about him. But I love Adam Thielen this year. And Scott, what's going on, Scott? Scott says, new to the channel and just got to the live show. John Mechie is my deep sleeper. Yeah, he's not a deep sleeper. I actually like John Mechie. That's why I don't got him on here. If I thought he was a deep sleeper, I would have him on here. I think he's above a deep sleeper. I think he's a guy, maybe a regular sleeper, but I think he's even above that. I don't know what you would call that and what lane you would put him in, but I like John Mechie. I think John Mechie could lead this team in targets. Now, maybe not catches, but I think he could lead Houston in targets. I know he's coming off of cancer, and the guy beat it. Hey, congratulations. I'm really proud of him, man. But the guy's coming back, and he was really good at Alabama. So I think John Mechie is better than a deep sleeper. I actually think this guy is a guy that you got to target, as maybe a number 4 wide receiver on your team. Like maybe you get Justin Jefferson, maybe you get Tyreek Hill, then maybe you get Treylon Burks, and then maybe you get John Mechie. So I think he's this guy just not a deep sleeper. This guy's gonna get drafted. But yeah, appreciate you subscribing to the channel, bro. Appreciate you being here, Scott. Yes, sir. Second Take says Madison to the moon. I'm not touching him. I'm not saying Madison sucks. Listen, guys, this is what I want to tell you. There's a lot of players that I don't touch. It ain't because that I say, oh, they gonna suck. I don't want that problem. And I always use it for this metaphor. It's like a relationship for men or women. You ever date a person and they just maybe they talk about crazy stuff and you're like, that was a little weird. And maybe you're like, you know what, that ain't for me. Look, they may be great for somebody, but I ain't gonna take that risk. That's how I look at fantasy. Listen, Madison may be great for somebody. I'm not going to put my livelihood on Madison. I think this is a passing offense. I'm gonna put my livelihood on. I'd rather take Kirk Cousins as a quarterback before I go to Madison. Now, Madison, if I can get him at the right as my 4th RB or maybe 3rd RB, just depending on my bill, I do it. But I'm not gonna take Madison as my 2nd RB. I cannot do that. Listen, it ain't no rhyme or reason. It just ain't clean, right? If I'm looking for something to build a family with, I want my wife to be clean. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that physically. I want her to be where it ain't a lot of baggage. I think it's too much baggage with Madison. I think it's too much baggage with with Minnesota. I'd rather take Justin Jefferson or TJ Hockenson. Those are the guys that I'm targeting on that team. Justin Jefferson, TJ Hockenson, KJ Osborne, and maybe Madison if everybody forget about him. But I'm not taking him as my number 2. But listen, I do think he's soaring up the rankings. So he can be good for a lot of people. I respect what you're saying, bro. Let me see. Okay. Second Take says, glad you're here, Scott. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Second Take says, Bronco Country this year. Yeah, hey, I think they're going to be good, especially with the new coaching staff, man. I think they're going to be real good. He said Broncos Country here. That's his line for all last year. KJ, what's up, bro? He said, can Paris Campbell be a sneaky play this year for the Giants as their starting slot receiver? I don't think so, bro. I think he might be okay a couple games. I think it's Wan'Dale Robinson. I think it's Ajayi Hodgins. I think it's going to be Jalen Hyatt. Paris Campbell's another guy that I probably won't get an opportunity to draft. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I probably won't have a chance to draft the guy this year. I'm just not really on him like that. But he could be good. And listen, he might not get drafted. So if you pick him up, it probably won't hurt your team. So there's nothing wrong with taking a risk on this guy. I'm just not taking him. Dollar Bill, what's up, bro? He says Marshall is a equals bust. Who was Marshall? What guy did we talk about? Those Terrence Marshall. Yeah, but listen, he's a deep sleeper. He hasn't been the wide receiver that he's supposed to be in the last couple of years. I agree with you, bro. But sometimes people beat that bust. Sometimes they beat it. Sometimes they come off as a bust and then they end up being better. So, but I agree. As of right now, you're right. He probably is a bust. But I think he got a lot of stuff inside of him that he needs to bring out. And maybe maybe Frank Reich can bring it out of him, bro. Maybe Frank Reich can bring it out of Terrence Marshall. Frank Reich is a really good coach. Second Take says, KJ Osborne I was talking about. Okay, yep. KJ Osborne. Yes, sir. I like KJ Osborne. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like KJ Osborne. And Sports, what's up, bro? That's my homie, guys. Go subscribe to his channel. That's my homeboy. He giving you information every day, daily news. I can't do daily news. I got a couple of jobs, so I can't do daily news. But this guy's doing daily news. Really, really intelligent young fella, man. Knows his stuff. He does it all for us. Basketball, football, any type of sports that's going on. Make sure y'all show love to my homeboy. He says, who you having winning MVP? I have Joe Burrow. I got Daniel Jones as a deep sleeper guy, but as the easy picking, like an easy guy that can win MVP this year, I don't have anybody, bro. I need to think about it. Maybe Tua. But I'm gonna stick with Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones has a chance to win MVP. I think they're gonna win the NFC East. I'm a Cowboys fan. I think they will win the division this year. Yes, sir. Second Take, he says, give me that bad man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who is that bad man? Okay, Rodgers. Right. I ain't touching Rodgers either. Look, I'm not saying Rodgers is gonna be bad. I just can't touch him. I just can't touch him myself. That's just me. And then, let me think about that. Why I don't really like Rodgers. Guys, so listen, dual threat quarterbacks are the new thing in fantasy football. You remember like 6-7 years ago, robust RB was the best strategy. You know what the new strategy is, guys? And I've been on this for a while. You have to go and get your quarterback early, and you have to get the dual threat guys. The reason why, guys, last year that I was one of the only few fantasy football channels that was on Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback and on Justin Fields as a top 5 quarterback over Aaron Rodgers, over some of these really good pocket passers is because of the dual threat. And unless you take rushing touchdowns down for passing quarterbacks, or you put in like a negative for like interceptions and negative for missing throws, a running quarterback is too easy. A running quarterback, guys, can throw for 110 yards and rush for 90 and end up being the quarterback one for that week. We seen it out of Justin Fields. It was 1 week where he only threw for 150 yards with 1 touchdown, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns and like 100 yards rushing. And he was the QB1. So that's why I'm not touching no pocket quarterbacks. They got to be perfect. Tom Brady got to be perfect. Excuse me. Aaron Rodgers got to be perfect. Jared Goff got to be perfect. Why do you think Daniel Jones came up into the top 12 last year? Because he's a running quarterback. And running quarterbacks don't have to be perfect. So that's why I'm not touching no pocket passes. Now listen, they can come out and boom, you can still be nasty as a pocket quarterback. Tom Brady has done it. A lot of quarterbacks have done it, but I'm not touching those guys. I'd rather take a guy like Anthony Richardson than to go take a veteran like Aaron Rodgers. That's just me. KJ says Matthew or Elijah Moore full PPR. I'm gonna go with Elijah Moore. Now, if D-Hop goes to Cleveland, I'm not gonna touch Elijah Moore. But right now, I'm gonna go with Elijah Moore. And if, like I said, if D-Hop goes there, then I'll go with Mitch. Great question, bro. Great question, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Sports, what's up, bro? He says player to look at heading into the 2023 is Sam Howell. Yes, I do like Sam Howell if he can win that job out. So yeah, I like Sam Howell, bro. I do believe that. I believe Sam Howell is going to be a good sleeper quarterback where you can fade the quarterback position and stack your team and pick up Sam Howell later. Okay. So CHB says, bro, you ain't got to lie. He sucked. Then he sucked. I feel you, bro. Listen, I'm not going to say an athlete can suck that's better than me. I'm not going to do that. I played sports my whole life. So I'm on a different scale to me. Not like a different scale better than anybody. I just can't tell another athlete they suck. If he's better than me, I'm not going to say he suck. I don't care if he can't catch a pass in the NFL. I'm not going to say he suck. Now, compared to high school or college to college, then that was a little bit different. I might say they suck then. I can't say a guy suck right now, man, because he the NFL, right? I just say, hey, I ain't touching him. That's what I say. CHB says, how you feeling about Elijah Moore? I might think he might have a better season than Cooper. I doubt if he have a better season than Cooper unless Cooper gets hurt. If Cooper gets hurt, then he can. Sports says, how you feel about Emmanuel Forbes? You asked something about him, man. Let me look him up. I don't know a lot about him, bro. Let me look him up, bro. Let me look him up. Okay, Emmanuel Forbes, as a true freshman at Mississippi State in 2024, has played in 11 games and made 9 starts. Okay, Ron Rivera clearly pleased with rookie cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. Oh, okay, that's the cornerback. Okay, so yeah, man, I didn't watch a lot. I haven't done a lot, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I haven't studied up on him or nothing. I have to look at him, bro. But I'm pretty sure I know you know your stuff, so he might be balling this year. I know he's skinny, but I don't worry about size. I remember people talking about him being skinny, but I don't worry about guys being skinny. Can you play football or not? That's all it's about. Size don't matter, especially in this new NFL. It doesn't matter. Scott says, also Doge's 6th highest rookie tight end points per game in the last decade. Okay, 6th highest rookie tight end points per game in the last decade. Last week, Coach said he would run the Joker for the Broncos. Watch out. Yes, and I made a video about him. Go check out my catalog. I do. That's one of my sleeper tight ends, and I made a video on him yesterday about that. So, yeah, bro, I do believe that he's going to be a good tight. Listen, this is going to be the tight end year. This is going to be the year that a lot of tight ends ball out this year. It's going to be the year that a lot of tight ends ball out. Let me see. And Second Take says, where is Hop going? Also, where do you want him to go? I want him to go to the Giants. I want him to go to the Giants. Now, listen, he might not go to the Giants, but I think the Giants is the best place. That's the place where he's going to get the most money. And also, he has an opportunity to also win. I don't want to just say Super Bowl, right? That's a little much. But yes, he also has a chance to win a Super Bowl, and they got cap room for him. So he don't have to pay for $2 to $3 million with the Giants. He can play for 10 to 12 million there. They need an alpha wide receiver there on the outside. KJ says, if I draft Lamar Jackson as my QB1, should I draft a Geno or Tua as my QB2 or go for a potential Anthony Richardson, 1 quarterback league, 12 team. I say draft Lamar and play the waiver wire and stack your team. Now listen, if everybody is gone, ain't nobody out there when Geno Smith is on the board, and ain't nobody out there when Anthony Richardson on the board, then yeah, go pick these guys up. But don't worry about another quarterback, bro. You can miss out on a guy that is going to boom. Stack your team. Go get Lamar in the 2nd round and go stack that team. Go get you Travis Kelce. Go get you some top end running backs and top end wide receivers. Go get you a killer 2 wide receivers and a killer tight end and another killer flex. And don't worry about that. Then go work the waiver wire for Lamar. You will find a quarterback like a Sam Howell, a Jared Goff on the waiver wire. That's what I would do. I wouldn't worry about trying to draft a guy like a Tua. I feel like you could be wasting the opportunity of getting a boom or a bust out or a breakout player. All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to go through this list. And one more time, and then I'm going to get out of here. Everybody that's new, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Like I said, if you got any questions, just put them in the comment section. Okay, so the first number 1 guy is Calvin Austin. Number 2 is Tyquan Thornton. Number 3 is Kyle Phillips. Number 4 is Alec Pierce. Number 5 is Nico Collins. Number 6 is Tim Patrick. Number 7 is Rashid Shaheed. Number 8 is Tutu Atwell. Number 9 is Terrence Marshall. And number 10 is KJ Osborne. All right, guys, y'all be safe. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate everybody being here. This is Cutting Edge Content. If you want to sign up for the OnlyFans and win fantasy football championships or just show support to the channel, guys, I recommend you do. I helped a lot of people win fantasy football championships last year and also go to their fantasy football championship. Okay, see, I got a new guy. He says, who are the quarterbacks you would stack with receivers? All right, great question, bro. So, Lamar Jackson, and I would stack Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman with him. Next, I would go. Let me see. Let me go through my list. Let me go through my list. I'm gonna answer that question for you, bro. Let me see. Let me see who. Daniel Jones and Darren Waller. Daniel Jones and Darren Waller. Okay, hold up. Let me see something. I got you here. That's a great question. Okay. All right, yep. So yeah, Daniel Jones and Darren Waller. I know that's a tight end, but that guy's like a wide receiver. Next, here's a triple stack. Tua, Tyreek, and Water. You can get that. That's easy, bro. That's easy to get. Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Water. Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. That's not one of my favorites, but that is a nice stack. Here's another one. I'm not targeting this one, but you can get this one. It's a triple stack, or you can just do the duo. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Now you can just do Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper. And let me see here. Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That's another tight end with quarterback and tight end stack. Let me see who else would be really good. I like Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. I also like this triple stack. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. That's one of my favorites. I love that triple stack. Just like Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Water. Those are my top 2 right there. Let me go on. I'm going to get you some more. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson. That's a good one. Let me see here. Yep, that's it, bro. Those 3 or 4 right there is really good. The other ones I can just name them, but I'm going after Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. I like Daniel Jones and Darren Waller as my number of like 3 or 4 stack, and my main one is Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Water. You know what Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are. You know, that's an easy one. I like the Lamar stack, but I like to get the Lamar and J.K. Dobbins and Rashad Bateman. That's the stack that I want for Baltimore. The reason why is because of Lamar running ability. So that opens it up for J.K. Dobbins. So that's why I would like to get J.K. Dobbins, and that's why I'm telling you about him. I think that's a really, really good one. Yes, sir, bro. Hopefully they helped you out right there. Yes, sir. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep, I like that Lamar stack too. I like the J.K. Dobbins. I like the Lamar J.K. Dobbins. And I would actually go with Mark Andrews. I would go with Rashad Bateman because you could get that. Now, listen, if you could get Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman, I don't think that's too much for that offense. This is a top-of-the-line offense. I usually would not tell nobody to get no 4 guys off the same team, but I would do that. Yes, it is crazy to grab him in the second round. It is. I agree with that 100%. Yes, sir. All right, guys, make sure everybody hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Y'all guys be safe. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Peace.